All right, guys. So now we are on YouTube by live. So today I am guide this immersion, and the central topic is benefits about technology. And I will explain a little bit about Talk. I know everybody here knows how works the platform, but it's important like for if someone watch us on YouTube on live or after this live will available for everybody watch the who wants. So Talk is a platform that we can study another languages. Here we study English, Spanish, Italian, Mandarin, German. I believe I said all. And here we are a different platform because we focus on the speaking and the listening because it's I believe it's the more this the part that some courses don't have to study too much, and here we have the this opportunity like to try to talk in another language and make mistakes because mistakes is a real important part in this process, like make mistakes, understand how we can improve our English, how we can understand more because even we are talking like with no natives on English. Everybody here is from some part of Brazil. Beatriz is are in Portugal, so we have a different accents. Even on Portuguese, we have different accents in English. So it's a very important this thing. And if anyone wants more about the platform, just access our site www.talkingtalk.com.br. So let's start. In Talk we have something a tradition that in the beginning of the immersions we introduce ourselves, like to warning our engineer. So let's go. Juliano, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. Hi guys from YouTube. My name is Juliano. I am 21 years old. My hobbies are reading mangas, listen music, podcasts. Um, I am science and technology student. I really like the IT, and sometimes I like to travel to the beach. That's all.
Very nice, Juliano. Could you choose someone to introduce themselves?
Of course, Iago.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Iago. I'm 28. I live in Apuiarés, a small town in Ceará. I work as an instructional designer and I love to read in my free time. I have 7 cats in my house. And yeah, I think that's it. Um, Beatriz, can you introduce yourself?
Sorry, it's me. My audio failed. I am Beatriz. I am 32 years old. I have a degree in accounting and I have MBA in business management. I am from São Paulo, but I live in Portugal almost 1 year. I live with my husband and my daughter. I I like to relax, to travel, stay with my family. In the moment, I am excited because my father arriving tomorrow here, and I good moment with me. Watterson, with you.
Yes. Hi guys, good evening. My name is Walterson. I live in Rio de Janeiro, né? I'm 25 years old. I'm a librarian. I work in a university library. Um, I'm a student. I'm a master student in information science. Um, I love travel and exercise in my days. I live with my parents, and I have one brother, but he lives in Santa Catarina, other state. That's it.
So guys, nice to meet you everyone. I believe like I had the opportunity to speak and participate with another immersions with you. So my name is Pedro. I am 25 years old. Like Iago said in the beginning, I am a little formal because like I got out from my work like 5 p.m. and I have to arrive in the house of my parents. Everybody is don't they are here now this moment, but I come here because like during the week I spend like in a kitnet, and it's very good when you can home and I can see my cats. I really appreciate this time, so I had to do a little trip like 30 minutes to arrive here. So I aimed talk like for 8 months. I don't remember like the exactly time. And I am host here because I believe like it's a good opportunity to develop some soft skills and hard skills involve like the language, but you can express yourself better. And I am because this reason. So I want to improve myself and get know about new ideas. So, like I said before, guys, today we're gonna talk about the benefits of technology. And I send the questions. I know it's a little script, but when the conversation starts, we can put more questions and say like other things that related within. So I want everybody feel free for this immersion and share your ideas, guys. That is. Watterson, could you read the number 2 and answer, please?
Okay. How has technology changed our personal and professional communication? Technology has made communication much faster and more convenient. In my personal life, I use apps like WhatsApp and Instagram to stay in touch with my friends and family. And professional, I really on emails, video calls, and collaboration in platforms with Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Meet, to connect with my uh, my colleagues in my work, and the immersion in talk and talk, and is very efficiently efficiently in actually. That's it.
Very good. Without technology, we can't stay here and have this opportunity, all right?
Exactly.
All right. Iago, your turn, please.
I think that for me it's very similar. I use technology in my personal life. Like to I actually don't like because I think there are some apps some people have this perception that we are always available because it's easy to send a message to anyone. So sometimes that bothers me because I don't know. I don't like if, for example, a person sends me a message and it's like, "Hey, hi, I would like to talk about some. I would like to talk to you," and the person don't tell me what's it about it. So when I see it, I just don't answer because tell me what do you want to know. Um, so yeah, I use a lot of things. I have a smartphone so I can have contact, so I can stay in touch with my parents and my friends. And I have some things that really make my life easier. For example, I have a vacuum robot that changed my life. I love my Kindle. I really love to read, and I think that Kindle is the best thing that ever happened to me because it's easy to take anywhere. And yeah, but the question is specific about communication. And in my professional communication, I think that we use a lot of emails, we use Discord, thank God. We don't use WhatsApp for professional communication. I don't like that either. We use another thing to stay in touch. And Google Meet, basically. What about you, Beatriz?
It's similar with you. Technology has made the communication faster and more efficient in some cases. In another, no. Included you asked the second phrase, and the person said, "Good morning." You, good morning. Tudo bem? It's okay. And step by step. Personally, I stay connected with my family, touch messages app or my friends. Professionally, I think tools like emails and the videos for calls uh, help collaborate easily with teams and clients, even remotely. I think it is.
Juliana, could you answer about this question?
Yes, I can. I think nowadays, because of technology, we can use a lot of tools to talk, to have a conversation, like WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, Twitter, and you can have a meeting without got out of home, you know. So for example, we can use Discord, you can use Google, Google Meet. We can have conversations in English, like in talk. So you can do a lot of things without get out of home, you know. And I think this is very good because I I am studying the college, and sometimes I do a meeting with my friends in Discord, and we learn some subject from the college without to go to the college or for home, for, friends home to study together. You can just study together at Discord, you know, things like that. So this is very good, I think.
Very interesting. For study, I believe like technology in general help a lot. I mean, not in the age like the encyclopedia, but I heard about that, and I sometimes I can imagine like you go to a library and search for some topic, and sometimes that are not update like how faster the internet updated. So I believe like technology changes a lot of things. But about the question about like how changed it, I believe I started my career on the digital, so I started working remotely, by remotely, and then nowadays like I work on site. That is totally different because like sometimes like if I have any doubt, I'm not like send a message if more formal on a Teams or some platform. I just go from the desk like from the people that I want to clarify about something, and that is works too. I believe like, but in general, from my work, I believe like it's a help too much because even I work on site, have some situations that I had some doubt that I have to put some support and some things like that, and the technology helps a lot. But something like Iago said about like the conversation, it's something that I believe like some people doesn't understand about like status because if you put you on remote, like I have to focus in some situation, I'm not available, but some people will call to you just to send some message or something that is irrelevant in this time. So I believe like that helps a lot, but sometimes if other people don't understand like how works some things, that could be a prejudice like they work like your flow, because sometimes you have to focus on some things, and if you broke the circle, that don't work. That's my opinion. So Beatrice, could you read the number 3 please and answer?
What are the main benefits of remote work facilitated by technology? Um, I think help flexibility something. I remember the finishing my maternity leave. I need to work one time in home. In this case, help me and help the company for I work, but with my baby in the home. I I I meet in in sorry, reunions in the company and with my team, with my partners, co-workers, the most time in online format. I think help for save times and lets people work from anywhere. I think it is this.
All right, thanks Beatrice. And how about you, Walterson? How do you think like the main benefits about remote work? I don't know if you work remotely. I imagine not, because you are
No,
like
no, exactly. I work presential. I don't know. Presential, the form correct?
on LinkedIn. I don't know if he had I believe presential could be work, but on LinkedIn I remember you can put remote and on site. I believe
Okay.
expression more useful.
Okay. Yeah. My work is not remote because I work in the library. Uh, uh, in my opinion, technology makes remote work possible by enabling communication through tools like Zoom and uh, the other the other things. It also allows access to file and documents in the cloud service like Google Drive and iCloud. Uh, the main benefits include flexibility with Beatrice talk in work hours, saving time on commuting, and the other things in the flexibility in the routine of the person. In my opinion, more benefits in working in remote work has many benefits.
Thanks, Walterson. How about you, Julian?
Uh, I think the main benefit is when you work remote, you can enjoy more your time. You know, you have more control. You can rest more, you can enjoy more, you can spend more time with your family because you can wake up more early because you don't need take bus to go to the work. So you can save a lot of time doing without take bus, you know. So this is very good. And you are at and you have the possibility to work at your home. You can do a travel and work in other place. So if you want to go to the beach, you can go and work there. You don't need wait your vocation to do it. So I think you have a more quality life. I think.
I agree with you. But I work remotely and it's not easy like every time you go to a beach and things like that. But I agree with you, it is possible. But sometimes it's not possible because like a financial area. But I had a friend of mine that he was tripping during he worked remotely one and he's doing a trip on Europe in Europe and his travel and just have to adjust like the hour like he on the city that they live in the Brazilian clock, but that works. But I don't believe it like if you don't have so much money, I don't know if it's efficient like you it's real possible. I believe like it's possible some ways, but not every time. That's my opinion because that's my reality. And how about you, Iago? Other main benefits? I know you work remotely.
I just would like to say that I agree with you about the traveling because I don't know, for me, I think that traveling is definitely cannot be related to work. So I like to travel and to enjoy the time with my husband, my friends, wherever, whoever I'm with it, or I don't want to take my laptop with me, and because I miss my second screen, I can't do anything without a second screen anymore. But for me, I think that the main benefits is, as Juliano said, is definitely the a better work-life balance. I think that of course, you need to be. I think that remote work it doesn't work for everyone. I think that you need to be very um, self-motivated, I would say, to have the focus to do the things that you need to do because you when you are in your house you have a lot of things to do. You have a house to clean, you always have something to do in your house. So I think that you need to be really focused to be able to do the work. So I think that the main benefits is that you can stay in your home. You don't spend any time in traffic. I always lived in small cities, so traffic was never a real problem for me. Even when I work on site, I don't know, maybe a 10 minutes walk and I was at work. But yeah, I think that's it.
Thanks, Iago. I believe that's benefits are really important and like what you said about like have a self motivation, have like a self control about like how you will work because most of the works like on remote you don't have like a someone like to deal with you like directly. You have to do you have to do your work like by yourself. Like sometimes you have to work on team too with some group, but most of the time is more self and that is could be good for peoples but for some other peoples could be something not so easy. But I believe like it's a real importance like to be clarified about that, like it is something that will be part of your work, like be alone and they have that. But in the other hand, like the flexibility, I believe like it's a very good. Nowadays I perceive about it like the works that I did. I perceive like have these two options like more hybrid works like because sometimes like it is a real frustrating when you are on you go to some enterprise, you deal with the traffic, and when you come to work, you just stay with your computer and make some meetings, like something that you could do in your home. In this case, I believe like you can adapt like to do that. Today we have some meetings, so stay in your home too because it's not necessary. In this case, I believe like could be that flexibility. It's real good because it's not something like that makes sense in my opinion. Of course, I don't know like what pass in the minds about like the bosses and the other things. All right, let's continue, guys. I will read the next one. How do you access informations and learn new things with technology? I believe like that with that are like a real change about like the technology, like when we have more access about informations and how do the things, like when I don't know when the tutorial was created, but it was the best thing about the life because like step by step about something. And I saw some videos like people like with tutorials learning how to build a house and things like unbelievable. If we don't have technology, for you get know about that, that would be have so much time and you have to get some experience. But nowadays you can like learn some things like easily way, and that was something real good. Like today we have some platforms that you can access. You can study and new things like by free, or if you have to pay, you can pay like for example, nowadays we can access some content that in the past you just have to travel to another thing or have to read a so technical book. Nowadays you can like to get this information like a easy way, like with GPT or with a resume on Google, and that make the lives more easier for these things. And how about you, Beatrice? How do you access information and learn new things with technology? You have like a platform that you like more for learning a new thing?
Um, in this moment, I have tried to focus in improve my abilities, uh, in specific in learning tools with SQL, database, improve no, because I don't made one, but learned more with about create Power BI. I think these tools is a complement with my currently skills. And in this moment, I I learned this in LinkedIn Premium, and another videos with my friends became for me. I think it is. I when I children, I remember my mother took me in a library for uh, uh, to did my tasks with school. It's a different challenge, different grow for tools with person. I think it's about this.
Thanks, Beatrice. How about you, Walterson?
I access the information with my cell phone and the computer. Um, I use the internet to find information, watch channels in YouTube, and take courses in on platforms too. I also use it the technology access digital librarians, read ebooks, and research tool like Google Scholar because I'm a master student and I read many articles in the many platforms, Google Scholar, Brapsy, see other things. For explore, né? The how can I say tema? I don't know. É
Could
falar
be theme or
tema,
topic.
tema. Okay, the topic of my my pesquisa. I don't know, pesquisa research. My research. Okay, my research in the master. That is in the moment I use frequently the uh, technology for these things.
Very good, thanks. And how about you, Iago? You said about Kindle and how other platforms and ways.
Yeah, but I only read fiction. I don't like to read nonfiction because I work with a lot of text. So when I have time to read, I like to read things that are not work related, you know. But when it's necessary, I read too, but that's not my favorite way to learn something. I think that I like to learn more with videos. I think you said about tutorials. We can do basically anything because we have tutorials about everything. So I think that it's a very easy way to learn new things. It can be more specific or it can be about something about technology, about a software that you are learning, and you can watch a tutorial and do something step by step, and then you can improve that flow. I think that they are really good. Um, but yeah, I think that usually I learn more with this, or maybe quick research on Google too. And yeah, and about staying informed about the things in the world, I subscribe to a newsletter. It's the newsletters that you receive email every day. They have a podcast every day. Sometimes I listen on at the gym. It's nice. It's really short, so it's like a summary of everything that happened yesterday. I think that it's a nice way to stay tuned without a big flood of information about everything that we see in social media. You know that sometimes it's really exhausting receiving a lot of information all the time. So I think that it's a nice way.
I love the news, just be clear. Because it's like some way like to summarize like all the content in the world and the content more relevant because when we saw like the another news on internet, you saw like some things like so it's some way like to have some content to share because nothing relevant happened. And that's for me it's so boring like to saw some news that it doesn't have some relevant for me. But I real like to make some searches in that. But differently, Iago, we about like to get informations. I like to read on by books. I prefer like to say more to study about more technical ways on books. Sometimes I like to more esoteric themes is more diverse, but most of all, I like to study like more techniques by books. But that is. And how about you, Juliano? That's some platform that you every time you if you want to get know about something about the world or about like some subject by your work you most use.
Also, something that I like to use a lot for everything is YouTube. You know, I really learn a lot using YouTube, news and other things too about study. I like to study using YouTube to study English and other things. And I really like to use GPT, because by GPT it's possible to do a lot of things. You study for different subjects, learn a lot. If you know how to use to study to learn, it's very good. Not just to copy and paste, you know, to study. It's very interesting. You can have a conversation in English with a GPT. You can ask to GPT do a lot of phrases in English to you, and you can study these phrases. It's very interesting. And I like to use to Udemy to study technology, development, programming. I think it's very good.
Thanks, Juliano. Could you read the next one, the number 5, and answer, please?
And of course, how does technology affect your time management and productivity? Um, I think it affects a good way, but sometimes a bad way, because I use my computer, I use technology almost all the time, you know. So I use my computer, I use technology to study, I use technology to have a good time, my leisure. So sometimes it's bad because I lost the focus and just have moments to leisure. So sometimes I lost the focus and begin watch a lot of series, animes, things like that. So I lost the focus. And other moment I study a lot, you know, using the technology. So it's hard because it's the same the same environment that I used to study. I used to rest, to have a leisure. So sometimes it's hard to have a balance. And sometimes I do a lot of things in the same time, and I think it's not so good, you know. But I think if we have a good control, it's possible do a lot of things, you know. By the technology, you can have a planner too. You don't need to use a notebook to write a planner. You can have a planner using the technology like Notion. You can manage your day, your task, your errands. So it's possible have a good control of your life, of your task using technology, and study a lot doing it, you know. But like I said, it's important to have a balance, because if you don't have a balance, you can spend a lot of time just doing something like studying a lot, or doing a lot of time to rest or to leisure, have fun, have a good time. So it's important to try have this kind of balance.
That you said is really important because I never had a separate spaces in my house like to most of the time like the who no where I work it's the same space that I have some laser or I sleep so with the same space and for me sometimes it's real difficult to separate like sometimes I am a little tired and have my bed in behind of me and it's like it's some temptation like to get some rest and things like that but it's something like difficult but it's important like to try to put in your mind like no to now I am work even I had like some ways like to distract myself about the social media or things like that I have to focus like you know what I am doing and that's something like for me it's real difficult because I believe I had TDA and I don't have like prescription about that, but I perceive myself I lost my attention so easily. So I believe I had that, but with me, I try to manage like when I have to focus on something important in my work. I try to put myself on far from me and things like that. It's some way that I try to manage it. And how about you, Beatrice?
I agree with you. Uh, I trying to put myself on in mood sleep for don't the lights don't that turn on, and I fake technology in this moment too, especially because I don't work, and I I have organized my time with my many tasks and I have to do, and I I have tried. Oh, sorry. Putting my task in calendar for the times, and they don't have in media social in these times. I don't open this, and uh, the technology also lead me too in make it easier to learn new things and keep my task organized. I think it is.
Thanks, Beatrice. Could you choose anyone to answer?
6.
I know someone. I believe like the people who answer yet was Iago and I believe Iago and Walterson. I think it's that. Or you are already answered Walterson. I don't remember.
Uh, uh, in my opinion, the technology affects my time because I don't have control. I use the social media and Instagram and WhatsApp a lot in my days. But I agree with my colleagues about the plan, my activities, né? Use the calendar or mode. I don't remember this word. Uh, Sleep the phone, né? But I confess that for me the technology affects my time in many times. But I try organize my routine in my job, for example, uh, uh, making notes in my paper or in post-its and the other things. I use the calendar of Microsoft Teams in my work too because uh, I uh, I I can organize my tarefas in my day. Have many apps with the colleague, say the Notion, and have the Trello, Microsoft To Do, and the other technologies for productive. But I confuse I lose my focus in many times because the technology. That's it.
That's not easy like to have it to make a self control. I agree with you. For
Exactly.
me, the same. Sometimes during my day, it's like unconscious. Like I get my cell phone and try to scroll. I don't have TikTok because for me TikTok, if I
I
install
have.
TikTok, oh my god, not
It's
good.
terrible.
But just the rules of Instagram for me are terrible too. But I know TikTok, the algorithm is like worst, I believe.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
TikTok.
I didn't use.
The
And how?
TikTok is terrible because the videos are very cool that Instagram, in my opinion.
Yes, it's good, but it's bad.
Terrible.
Your turn, Iago.
I think that I'm in between something, trying to manage my time to be productive. But I really don't like to think about that much in productivity because I don't know, we are forced, I don't, not forced, but we talk so much about productivity that we feel that we need to do something all the time, and we sometimes we don't find enough time to relax, or sometimes we are relaxing in front of a screen, you know. We do a lot of this. um, so for me, how I do is I use a separated browser to work, so I don't have any social media logged in this browser. It's only work related. Even LinkedIn, for example, is not logged on this browser. Um, Sometimes I stay my cell phone in another room, so I don't take it to see other things because it can take my attention really easily, my cell phone. Even if I'm just answering someone in WhatsApp, I feel that when we take our phone, we always think that we need to see other things, not just that thing that we needed to do, you know. So for me, I use these strategies to deal with my time management. Something that I did recently was to hide the bar of the computer that shows the hour, because sometimes I was feeling very stressed about, I don't know, maybe I had this feeling that I need to finish a task about a specific hour that I put in my mind that I needed to finish, you know. So I hide the bar and I don't see the hour anymore, and I feel that I'm not the pressure anymore. I don't create this thing on my mind to finish a task in a specific time. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Hmm, real nice. Yeah, could you choose another question? Because I believe we don't have like enough time to answer like the all lefty, but you could choose anyone and answer, please.
Okay, I think I'll go to number 8. What are the negative environmental impacts you associate with excessive use of technology? I think that I always think about the big places that these big companies use for data centers, things like that, you know. And I know that it's a current discussion because, for example, ChatGPT become a really big company in a really short time, and they are using a lot of space and they use a lot of energy. A lot of CO is emitted. I don't know if that's the word, but I think that maybe.
All right. Uh, Juliano, could you answer that? The number 8.
I think, um, in general, the people really like to consume things that have a connection with technology. Can be, for example, a smartphone, a console, video game, things like that. So I think it can be danger in some aspects when we don't know uh, how some people don't know, other people, so how to discard this kind of thing when it become a trash, you know. So we don't so it can have a dangers for the world for the earth, you know. So we can maybe have problems if the word and it bring that subject sustainability, you know. So I think it have more connection with this because a lot of people use technology and a lot of people, like Iago said, some companies grow a lot so fast and need more space to need more space in general. So sometimes we don't know if these companies are thinking in the world in sustainability, you know. So it's hard in some aspects.
Yes, I agree with you. Sometimes it's real hard. How about you, Beatrice?
I think excess use of technology can create more waste for all the devices. It also uses a lot energy, which can harm the Environment. I think it is.
Okay. Something that the Iago said before that I agree sometimes like about talk just about productive. Sometimes we just like things about like information than technology most of all. I believe that could be about the access like you all the time you have to have the access about technology, about the news, about like the all the time you just don't your I say that because what I think, but most of the all the time about the access of information and technologies, we think we when you think that do some things we have like the perception we are wasting time. So I believe like the best negative impacts about like the asset of technology because like have another things that are happening in the world, but you have to live the present because if you don't live the present, we are not living. We are just pass your time and just believe like you are not possible about to do the things. So, guys, that is. I will put the survey on the chat, and if anyone here wants to talk more about like who thinks about this immersion, if anyone get know about a new word, an English, a new expression, that's the time.
Uh, I think it was a nice conversation. Technology is something that has changed really fast. I really don't know where we are going with a lot of new things happening all the time. I really try not to think about it, but it's always nice to talk about it.
This is what we see. If what we don't see the technology, but I like it too, Pedro. Thank you for your explain your time one more time, and have a good New Year.
Have a good year, guys. So for me, it was a pleasure this immersion. I learning new things that real nice have this conversation. Principal when we are talk about technology because it is a subject that I like. So guys, thanks again. I put the survey on the chat if everybody wants to suggest any topic or say another thing about the immersion, like how I can improve how I can improve about my immersions. And that is bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.